What's good, everybody? It's the Clown with Cap Show. NFL Week 4, really some hard games. Let me start off with my Indianapolis Colts. They are at home playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. And look, I want to go Colts here. I love the Colts. You know, I'm a huge diehard Colts fan, but it's time to bet with your mind and not your heart. So I'm obviously going to go Pittsburgh here. And that's the thing. Why am I going Pittsburgh? Because their defense is great. And Anthony Richardson tends to throw interceptions that he doesn't need to be throwing. That's the weakness with Anthony Richardson, especially in the red zone play. It's like, bro, you don't need to be throwing these type of balls in the red zone, dude. Sometimes run it or slide or go out of bounds or throw it away. Like, I don't like the extra, the finesse where it's like you're trying to make the extra play, which I get, and you're trying to be the hero, but to throw a pick in the red zone like that, like he's done in the past couple games, that's got to stop. So I think that's another thing with the Colts is Anthony Richardson's got to lay off the interceptions, and I think Jonathan Taylor's due for a big game here. Now, is he going to have a big game against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense? Probably not, because Pittsburgh Steelers defense is locked in. You got TJ Watt and company. They're one of the best defenses in the league right now. Top 5 defense, so I think that they're a great run defense as well, so I think Jonathan Taylor's going to have a rough game. Now, to bet Jonathan Taylor touchdown is risky. It is, because we're talking about Pittsburgh here. They're solid, but I still like that bet, though. I think Jonathan Taylor touchdown's a way safer bet than betting on the Colts. Like, straight up. Like, the bet on the Colts would be ignorant, but I also like the under in this game. 40.5 is the over-under. I love the under here. I just think typically right now we're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers with Justin Fields. They're still trying to figure out their identity, who they are as a team, what type of offense they like to run, stuff like that. But I just think overall, man, I'm going my Indianapolis Colts here. I'm not going to bet on them, but I would love to see them go, to win the game. But my heart's telling me go Indianapolis Colts, but my mind's saying Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'm going to bet with my mind here and go Pittsburgh. I'll take that. I'll take the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll take them at minus 2.5. But I love the under. The under bet is probably the most safest bet in this game right now, is the bet on the under. I just don't see it being high scoring. I really don't. I just think both offenses are just kind of inconsistent in a way to where the Pittsburgh Steelers always grind out these nitty-gritty games. And Mike Tomlin is a way better coach than the Indianapolis Colts coach. So I'm betting on the better coach, and I'm betting on the better defense. And that's the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'm going to go Pittsburgh here. I'd love to see my Indianapolis Colts score or to take off here, but I love Jonathan Taylor to score anytime. I still like that bet. That's an okay bet, but the best bet all weekend, I'm locked in on this. I think the under in this game. The 40.5, the under. I'm going to go Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll take minus 2.5. I love the 40.5. I love the under to hit in that game. So take off Pittsburgh Steelers. I want to see my Colts win, but I'm just going to bet with my mind here and go Pittsburgh Steelers. And then we got the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Philadelphia Eagles are 2-point favorites, and this game is probably the hardest game all weekend. This is such a coin flip game. It could go either way. What type of Tampa team are we going to see? Are we going to see last week where it's just out of sync with Baker Mayfield? Or are we going to see him locked in? Baker Mayfield, the start of the season's been great. 6 touchdowns, only 2 picks, whereas Jalen Hurts has 3 touchdowns and 4 picks. So I'm looking at Jalen Hurts and realizing, hey, bro, don't try to be the hero here. You have Saquon Barkley, the best running back in the NFL right now. I mean, according to fantasy, he's the number 1 running back. So, Saquon is that guy. Saquon is number 1 for a reason. So, look, right now I'm leaning more towards Philadelphia. I just think what I saw from them last week, even though they gave it up against the Atlanta Falcons, overall, I just think the Philadelphia Eagles are the better team than Tampa right now. They're very similar, though, offensively. Have good receivers, have a good run game. So I just think right now Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield, and I would give a slight edge to Philly right now. So I'm going to go Philadelphia Eagles. I'll take that bet. I'll probably end up going, Philly just money line. Even though the spread is -2, I just think seeing this game being so close, it's such a 50-50 game where it's hard to bet on. It really is. But right now, if I had a gun to my head, I'm betting on the Philadelphia Eagles to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 43.5 is the over-under, and I'll probably go with the over. Why? Because both offenses can score, and we see what Saquon can do. Break a tackle and take it for a touchdown anytime. So shout to Saquon Barkley, my fantasy running back's been going crazy. Take off, Saquon. Let's go! And then we got the Denver Broncos versus the New York Jets. The Jets are 7.5-point favorites, and I'm going Jets here. I'm locked in on the Jets this year. The Jets will make the playoffs as long as Aaron Rodgers stays healthy. They have one of the top best defenses in the league. So I'm going to go Jets here, and I like Breece Hall at anytime touchdown here. That's my lock bet. Jets money line, Breece Hall. I'll do that all day. Touchdown anytime. You know, the 7.5, it is a little high. You know, we've seen Denver. They're 1-2. You know, Bo Nix does have 4 picks. You know, he does have 2 rushing touchdowns. Bo Nix. So shout out to Bo Nix. He's a rookie. He's still learning the system right now. And I understand they're great coach, but right now I'm going New York Jets. The Jets are the better team. They have the better quarterback. They have the better run game. So I'm going to go Jets, and they have the better defense. So I'm going to go Jets here. Money line Jets. Breece Hall, anytime touchdown. And you can even throw in Garrett Wilson as well. I like Garrett Wilson over 50 yards. So if you're going to make a little parlay here, go Garrett Wilson plus 50 yards receiving, and then go Breece Hall, anytime touchdowns, and money line Jets. That's what I like. It hit last weekend. Jets hit money line, and Breece Hall anytime touchdown. I think Garrett Wilson scored as well on Thursday. I think they played last Thursday or last week. So, you know, I'm all over the Jets right now. So, Jets, I'll take that. That's one of my lock picks this weekend. Even though the lock picks typically sometimes don't hit. That's just part of life, bro. Like, you're not going to hit every single bet. Everybody would be millionaires if they did. But not everybody's a millionaire here in America. It's just not going to happen. But I love the Jets over the Denver Broncos in New York. Give me the Jets all day in this matchup. And then we have a classic rivalry. We have the Minnesota Vikings versus the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay's favorite by 3, which is crazy to me. 43.5 is the over-under. Look, Green Bay, if Jordan Love does play, I do like that play. I like Green Bay Packers at home. They play well. I just don't know if Jordan Love's going to play. If Jordan Love does not play, give me Minnesota here. Minnesota's the better team. They're 3-0 for a reason, and Justin Jefferson is the best receiver in the league. He's the highest paid receiver. Why? Because he makes the plays. That's why. It's Justin Jefferson. He has 273 yards receiving this year and 3 touchdowns. Like, Justin Jefferson is the best receiver, hands down. He makes plays no matter who the quarterback is. And their quarterback right now is Sam Darnold. We're talking about a guy who's been mediocre his whole career. And now look at him. He's making Sam Darnold look like Tom Brady right now because Justin Jefferson is that it factor. He's that it guy. He can create separation. He can make players miss him. He just does it all, man. He's just, Justin Jefferson is that guy, best receiver in the league. So I like Justin Jefferson over on yards. I like him to have over 70-plus receiving yards this game. I think he's going to eat this game. I think it's going to be a Justin Jefferson type of game. And another bet would not be bad, Aaron Jones to score a tutty. He's already got one this year. That would not be a bad bet. But I'd rather bet on Josh Jacobs to score a touchdown than Aaron Jones because Josh Jacobs is a better running back overall. Even though Josh Jacobs didn't score a couple weeks ago where I had him to score on a parlay, which he fumbled on the goal line against my Indianapolis Colts. So, like, that's how fluky sometimes these bets can be to where all it takes is one misstep and then your whole bet's messed up. So, like, it's not guaranteed, bro. Like, all it takes is one mistake from this particular player to mess up your whole weekend. So that's just part of sports betting, and it's part of NFL. But give me Minnesota right now, bro. Give me Minnesota. I'm just confident in them. I'm confident in Sam Darnold. I'm confident in Justin Jefferson. So give me the Vikings. I'll take the I'll take the spread Vikings, obviously, because it's better odds right now. It's even in a way, but I like the spread here. I like Minnesota going into Green Bay. However, if Jordan Love does play, I would not be opposed betting on Green Bay in Green Bay, but I think Jordan Love stays out this game. Who knows what's going to happen there? That's going to be iffy. If Jordan Love is out, 100% go Minnesota over the Green Bay Packers. And then we got the New Orleans Saints versus the Atlanta Falcons. This is another rivalry game, you know, in conference, in the same division. Look, Atlanta's 3-point favorites. 40.5 is the over-under. This game, I like the over in this game. I think both offenses are explosive. You got Kamara, you got Bijan Robinson. I like them both to score. I think both running backs can score this game. It makes sense to me, right? You're playing in Atlanta in a dome. You're just home team. So you should score. Like, Robinson should score. Second year in the NFL, like, this is where it starts to ramp up. So I want the offense to go through Bijan Robinson, which I do think it will. And Kamara is questionable, however. Now, if Kamara does not play this game, that's a big curveball here, and I'm definitely going Atlanta if Alvin Kamara does not play here. He's questionable with the hip, slaps rib injury right now. So, like, that, it's just a questionable. It's a 50-50 if he's going to play. That's huge. If he does play, give me New Orleans. Derek Carr's locked in, man. He's got 6 touchdowns, only 2 picks, 585 yards passing. Like, he's locked in right now. One of the best quarterbacks right now in the NFL, definitely from fantasy terms. So give me Derek Carr and the New Orleans Saints right now over the Atlanta Falcons. And I'll bet on the over here. I'll bet on the over all day. And I like Derek Carr, 2+ touchdowns here. So just some free money plays right here. 2+ touchdowns, Derek Carr. And I like New Orleans over the Atlanta Falcons. And I like Bijan Robinson to score. And if Kamara does play, both running backs to score in that game. Let's go, Saints. And then we got the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Carolina Panthers. The Bengals are 0-3 this year. The biggest surprise to me yet. This is a must-win game for the Cincinnati Bengals. If the Cincinnati Bengals start off 0-4, we could say Joe Burrow and company, their season is over with. Like, straight up. You're not going to make the playoffs starting 0-4. You're just typically not. The odds are against them. They have to win this game. So I'm going Cincinnati Bengals here. Even though I went Bengals last week and I was wrong on that pick, I'm going Bengals here. I'm doubling down on the Bengals. Why? Because this is a must-win game for you guys. You're playing the Carolina Panthers, who just came off a victory, who benched their Bryce Young, their quarterback they drafted number 1 overall. So this game's tricky as well, but I got to go Cincinnati here, dude. There's no way around it. Like, I'm going Cincinnati. I'll take the -5.5. 46.5 is the over-under. Probably lean more towards the under in this game. But I like Joe Burrow to go crazy. He's got 5 touchdowns this year. Zach Moss has got 2 touchdowns. Jamar Chase has got 2 touchdowns. There's no reason for the Cincinnati Bengals to be 0-3 right now. They should have beat the Kansas City Chiefs. They blew that game. And they should have won last week, and they blew that. So the Cincinnati Bengals going to Carolina this weekend. They need to handle business. A must-win game for Joe Burrow and company. So I'm going to go Cincinnati Bengals. I'll do anytime touchdowns. I'll do another Jamar Chase. I think Jamar Chase eats this game. I think they're coming out hungry, and the Bengals realize they got to go on a win streak here. If they want to make the playoffs this year, even a wild card playoff game, they gotta start winning. They gotta start winning, and this is where it starts right here. So give me Cincinnati here. I'll bet on the under, and I love the -4.5 from the Bengals. I think the Bengals clear that easy here. You have to. So Joe Burrow and company, are you guys about it or not? You guys are 0-3 right now. This is a must-win game. So give me the Cincinnati Bengals over the Carolina Panthers. And then we got another division rivalry. We have the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Houston Texans. The Texans are 6-point favorites. Jacksonville's 0-3. Now, don't let this game deceive you and say, oh, Houston's automatically going to win. However, what I've seen from Trevor Lawrence is he's not playing terrible. It's their defense for Jacksonville. The Jacksonville defense is terrible, and just no help really for Trevor Lawrence. Even though Trevor Lawrence only has 2 touchdowns and 1 pick, you got ETM with 2 touchdowns, Brian Thomas Jr. with a touchdown, but it's just hard for me to bet on the winless Jacksonville Jaguars right now. 0-3, Houston's coming off a loss. I do think this game is going to be very, very close to what they're projecting this game to be. Obviously, the spread is way different than what I'm thinking. The spread right now is -6 Texans. I like the Houston Texans, but I like the money line. I think that's too fooky to bet on that 6 points. It is. It's too fooky to me. I'm sorry. I can't pull the trigger on that fooky type of shit. Like, I just see this game going really close here, and I can see Jacksonville Jaguars starting off fast here. So, like, obviously the over would not be a bad bet either, which is 45.5. Yes, the over, I would not be opposed to betting on the over. I just think this game's going to be really close for some odd reason. But give me the Texans at home, but money line. I just don't like the 6 points. Altering it down to 3.5. I just think the 6 is just too much right now. Yeah, obviously, Houston's a way better team. It's fooky sometimes betting on these spreads. And this is one of the games where I think it's fooky right now. But I like money line, Houston, and I like Stephon Diggs to score. Joe Mixon is questionable. He might be out. But or Nico Collins. Either Stephon Diggs or Nico Collins are going to score this game. That's what I'm thinking right now. So give me Houston money line or one of them two to score over the trash Jacksonville Jaguars. And then we got the LA Rams versus the Chicago Bears. Both teams are 1-2. Chicago's the 3-point favorites here in Chicago. This game is another 50-50 type of game. Like, this game's hard to bet on. Like, the Rams, they're dealing with a lot of injuries here. Puka's out. You got Cooper Kupp still out right now. So it's just like one of them things where Matt Stafford's getting older now. So right now, give me the Bears, man. What I saw from Roma Duze, going off recently, scoring the first career touchdown last game to Caleb Williams' first passing touchdown. Give me the Bears here in a grind out game. I think the under's gonna hit. I think it's gonna be a little bit low scoring. It's just gonna be a grind out, ugly type of game. So I love the under, even though 40.5, which it's gonna be right on that line, but I like the under. That's my only bet in this game. I don't even like betting on the Bears or the Rams. I just like betting on the under in this game. That's gonna hit. So that's my lock here. And obviously Kyren Williams, who loves to score touchdowns. I think he scored 3 last game. So anytime touchdown from Kyren Williams is a solid, safe bet there. So go Kyren Williams and bet on the under. That's my two-legger in this matchup. But take all Chicago Bears. I like them to grind out in a very close one in Chicago. Take all Bears. Let's go. And then we got the Washington Commanders versus the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals are 3.5-point favorites in this matchup, which is interesting. And the over-under is 48.5. They're expecting this to be a high-scoring game, which I could see it being. I would not be opposed of it being over 48.5. You got Daniel Jones. He's been going crazy as a rookie this year. Shout out to Daniel Jones. Then you got Kyler Murray with 5 touchdowns this year. Marvin Harrison Jr. So betting on the over would not be bad. Both offenses are explosive, can score at will. You got Brian Robinson Jr., a great running back for Washington Commanders. You know, I think Eckler's going to be out this game, but I like him. Shout out to McLaren, the Indiana boy. I just think right now I'm going on Arizona. Even though I bet on Arizona last weekend, I was wrong against the Detroit Lions. I think this weekend Washington is a nice team. They really are, but I think Arizona handles business here. I think they do. Let me bet on Arizona. I'll take the 3.5. The minus 3.5, even though Washington looked solid last weekend. Give me the Cardinals here at home. This is really a must-win game for Arizona. They do not want to go down 1-3 with 2 straight home games. So this is a must-win for Arizona. Give me Arizona at the 4 o'clock slate over the Washington Commanders. And then we got the New England Patriots versus the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers are 10-point favorites. Do not bet on that spread. That's fluky. Give me the 49ers money line here. That's the safest bet for me is the money line. I just sometimes, man, the spreads to me are just too fluky, bro. They really are. It's just too fluky for me, man. It's just I don't like betting on the spread. So let me get money line San Francisco. And I do think Kittle is coming back. You have freaking Jawan Jennings going insane, dude. 3 tutties, 279 yards receiving. Then you got Jordan Mason filling in for McCaffrey. McCaffrey flew out to Germany to check out his Achilles, and it looks worse than what it is. So I think McCaffrey will not be back till about round week 12. I'm sorry for everybody who has him on fantasy. I just think the smart play to handle McCaffrey here is get him halfway through the season at least. You know, and I think 49ers should rack up some wins and be in the playoffs regardless with or without McCaffrey. Obviously, if they start losing games, McCaffrey needs to come back ASAP. Absolutely, but give me the better team right now in the 49ers money line. However, this game is going to be a grind out game. I could see it being the under. 40.5 is the over under. I could see it hitting the under. I really can, dude. Like that's how I see this game being played with the under. So give me the under. Give me San Francisco. And another not a bad bet would bet on, you know, Jordan Mason to score. Their backup running back who's actually had a solid, you know, filling for McCaffrey right now. So give me him anytime touchdown. And I think Deebo Samuel is out again, which is sad news or he's questionable, but I do think he could be out. But give me Mason to score, the running back for 49ers, and money line 49ers. That's my play against the Patriots, but I think the under's going to hit. I just think the Patriots are a great defensive team, just no offense whatsoever. So give me the under in that game. And then we got the Cleveland Browns versus the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders are underdogs. Cleveland's 2.5-point favorites here. This game, I'm not even going to touch this game on who's going to win this game because it's so fluky to me. We don't know which Cleveland Browns is going to come out. We don't. Deshaun Watson, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. You know, you got Mari Cooper going off. Minshew, 3 touchdowns, 3 picks. Zamir White just not really been balling. And Devontae Adams is questionable right now. I don't think he's going to play, but obviously, you know, if Devontae Adams does play, give me the Raiders at home. What I've seen from the Cleveland Browns, a lot of inconsistency, really not good offensive flow. It's just Deshaun Watson just hasn't been there, man. He just hasn't been there for his team when they need him the most. And I'm not trying to blame Deshaun Watson, but ever since Deshaun Watson, the scandals came out when he was at Houston, he's not been the same player. He's just been falling off low-key. So Give me the Raiders in this matchup, and I like the under, really, dude. I see it being low scoring, 36.5, even though that's a low right there, right? Now, if the Washington Commanders, Arizona was at 36.5, I'd be all over that with the over, 100%. But right now, I'd still go under. I don't see in this game being a lot of scores, but give me the Raiders right now. Right now, it might be a game-time decision, but give me the Las Vegas Raiders over the trash Cleveland Browns. And then we got the Kansas City Chiefs versus the LA Chargers. Kansas City, 7.5-point favorites. And look, I'm going to go Kansas City here. I'm going to go money line Kansas City. Why am I going money line Kansas City? Is because Pachenko's out. They're still trying to find their identity. Mahomes even came out and said he's not playing his best football. He's just not right now. And another reason why I'm going Kansas City is their star safety for the Chargers is out. Derwin James is out with a legal hit. He's on a one-game suspension. He's had a history of bad hits, but the suspension hit that they gave him last weekend was kind of soft. Like, yes, I get it, he led with his head, but he was trying to lead with his shoulder as well. So it's kind of impossible to do that. It's just the NFL just changing way much, where back in the 90s, dude, you could lead with your head. You could get concussions. Like, it's just part of it, but, it's just being softer right now. It's just part of the football, man. It sucks. Like, there's no way Derwin James should have a suspension right here from the hit that he had laid out last week. Like, come on, bro. Like, that's just so soft. The defender saw him the offensive player saw him the whole time. Like, it was just fluky, dude. Like, I think, obviously, Kansas City's going to win now because of their star safety is out. That's going to create open down the field passes. So I like Mahomes. I like Kansas City money line. And I like Rashid Rice to score anytime touchdown. Rashid Rice, and you could go Dobbins as well for the Chargers to score. But I like Kansas City right now, just from, Derwin James being out. So this is going to be a grind-out game. I think it's going to be very, very close. 39.5 is the over-under. I like the over. I think Kansas City on this 4 o'clock slate slings it down. Rashid Rice, Dobbins, anytime touchdown. Money line, Kansas City. Take off, Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. Let's go! And then we got the Buffalo Bills versus the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday Night Football. This is definitely another hard matchup. Really, Baltimore's 2.5-point favorites in this matchup. Look, I think it's going to be a grimy game. I think Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson both score touchdowns. I know that's hard to do as a quarterback for both of them to score a tutty, but I like it, dude. I like anytime touchdowns from quarterbacks. I think this game is going to be a grimy game. 46.5 is the over-under. I could see it being the under. Buffalo Bills defense is legit. Their run defense is nice. And I think Derrick Henry can score as well. I just don't see Derrick Henry rushing for over 100 yards. I see the Bills stopping that, making Lamar Jackson pass down the field to Zay Flowers and company. Have those guys type of beat you. But this is, like I said, this is going to be a grind-out game. I'm leaning more towards the Buffalo Bills right now. What I've seen from Josh Allen ever since Stephon Diggs left, it looked like Josh Allen was just going to go down the tube. It was like, oh, that's it. Like, it's over with for the Bills. But no, the Bills look nice. Shakir, they got some playmakers, man. They really do. And Josh Allen has that it factor. So this is going to be a great Sunday Night Football game. And like I said, my lock plays are Josh Allen, Lamar, both to score touchdown. You could throw Derrick Henry in there as well and James Cook. That'd be a crazy parlay. Even though I do think the under is going to hit. But you just never know with these type of bets, man. But I definitely am leaning more towards the Bills right now. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson to score on Sunday Night Football. I cannot wait for this matchup. Then we have the Monday Night Football game. We have a two-legger. We have the Tennessee Titans versus the Miami Dolphins and the Seattle Seahawks versus the Detroit Lions. The Tennessee Titans Dolphins are 1-point favorites in this matchup. Tennessee's 0-3 winless right now, and it makes sense for me to go Miami. What I've seen from Tennessee has been just god-awful. Will Levis is trash. 5 interceptions, 4 touchdowns, just trash. Just trash in general. 2 was out. I understand that, but let me go Dolphins here. I'm not even going to touch this, but if you guys are touching this game, go Miami Dolphins. I'll take the one spread. I'll go 36.5 is the over-under. I could see it being the over here. I think Tyreek has a game here. Bet on Tyreek to score anytime touchdown. That's my lock play in this game. It's Tyreek Hill. He's the it factor. I understand 2 is out. He doesn't have a great quarterback, but overall, give me Tyreek Hill to score anytime touchdown. That's my lock play. And I'll take the Miami Dolphins right now over the trash Tennessee Titans in the Monday Night Football. Then we got the Seattle Seahawks going into Detroit. We remember this game last year. Detroit lost to them. I believe it was an overtime game. They lost to them in overtime last year. I think this game is going to be a grimy type of game. Detroit's 3.5-point favorites. Seattle's 3-0 right now. Like, this game is crazy, but you know what? Let me go Detroit money line here. Let me go Detroit money line. And the over-under is crazy, dude. It's going to be right there. But let me go with the over. I think this game could be a high-scoring game. Both offenses can score. You got DK Metcalf. You got Tyler Lockett. Geno Smith is a solid quarterback. Then you got Montgomery, Gibbs, Jameson Williams. Laporta, I do think, is out with the injury right now. But David Montgomery, I'm telling you right now, I just think Detroit, they're coming out on fire. And I do think Detroit's going to get them back from last year. Payback from last year. Seattle got the dub last year. Let me see Detroit win in Detroit this year. In a close, grimy game on Monday Night Football, the last leg of the weekend. So it's going to be crazy, man. I can't wait. But let me go Detroit, man. Let me go Lions, man. One time for the one time. Shout out to Detroit Lions on the Monday Night Football. That's my game all weekend, man. But this weekend, NFL Week 4 is tough. There's going to be some games where I miss, but I like the 2 running backs to score, 2 receivers to score, and 2 money lines as a parlay. You guys cannot miss that, man. I'm telling you, some of these games, like the Colts game, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to be crazy, but I can't. My lock pick all weekend, I'm going heavy on the New York Jets over the Denver Broncos. I just love what I've saw from the New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers. That's why I'm going New York Jets right now. Rodgers, Jets, Breece Hall, touchdown. That's my lock all weekend. You heard it from Cap, no Cap. It's the NFL. It's the Clown with Cap show. Let's go!